Hello, everybody. Welcome to Intermediate Dry Fire by ABC Dry Firing, which is me, always be dry firing. Let's talk through the notes fairly quick. If you watch the beginner dry fire video, these notes are largely the same. 4 fundamentals of dry fire: know the condition of the firearm at all times, check the chamber, check the mag well, know the condition of the magazines as well. Mine have JV training inserts and snap point dummy rounds on top. I like that combination. I'm not paid to endorse either of those companies. I've never gotten anything less than full price from I think from any company ever, if I'm not mistaken. I think to this point I've been a full price enjoyer. So be aware of your target, what's beyond it. I mean, all of my targets are kind of, you can see them along that wall. I know there's nothing I could shoot through that would cause injury or property damage back there. If you cause injury or property damage, that's your fault. Do not blame me. Uh, it's between you and your lawyers and any other involved parties. Finger off the trigger until you're ready to fire. Same trigger finger fundamentals as live fire. You still need to practice trigger finger discipline. Fingers not getting on the trigger until whenever you're drawing, like you're starting to get on it as the gun is up, but you're not like prepping it until you are pretty much ready to shoot. Reloading, that finger's got to come off the trigger. Um, like movement, if you're going to move both feet, that's how movement is defined by USPSA, is both feet moving. Just watch a video about trigger finger discipline if that's something you don't know yet. Keep your firearm pointed in a safe direction, same as live fire. Be diligent about 180-degree rules. Don't point it at anybody else. Don't point it at yourself. Use full size targets. That's what I recommend. It's easier to get stupid fast on full size targets than start to move that speed over to more difficult targets than trying to get fast on difficult targets from the beginning. Like you can see, I'm using some like 1/3 and 1/6 and things of the sort, uh, because I have developed a level of speed that I think I'm in a good position to start moving that to more difficult targets, not necessarily trying to get faster, trying to move that fast to 25 or plus yard shots. If this is the video for you, you're not at that point yet. You need to get faster at 1 to 3 yards. Like that's probably the biggest thing people say is like, I got to use small targets because I can only get 9 feet away from, like, use a full size target. I mean, even if you can touch it with the barrel of your gun, it needs to be a full size target. Um, there is no nuance there. If you're at this level, you need to be dry firing on full size targets. I would say two of them is the minimum. Three is like acceptable. Five is pretty good. Like five would be the number that it's like, okay, like 6 or 7, I guess, would be fine, but you don't like five would be great. Um, be semi-realistic about what is physically attainable when you start. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be delusional about long-term goals, like to have a half-second draw or a half-second reload and things like that. But don't start today if you have a 2-second draw, setting your par time at half a second and trying to do that immediately. Is like if you're at a 2, work down to a 1.7 and a 1.6 and then a 1.5, and then keep taking those chunks off. And it doesn't necessarily need to be like I went from 2 to 1.7. It's like that's a big shock. There's a lot of difference between a 2 and a 1.7. There's a lot of difference between a 1.7 and a 1.5. There's a huge difference between a 1.5 and a 1, and the difference between a 1 and a half is not comprehensible to the human mind. Um, so set semi-reasonable goals, but also have delusional like goals for the future. You don't need to pull the trigger for dry fire. It's helpful in some situations, but it's not like dry fire. I say think of it as a mental and visual exercise, not necessarily shooting practice. So that's why I think that the trigger pull, and I'll talk about when and pull the trigger. Um, Dry fire gimmicks, tools, not going to talk too much about that, but if you're wondering about gimmicks or tools, I am pretty negative on most of them. So drill number 1: draw and transition from T1 to T2 with a goal par time of 2 seconds for 1 minute on, 30 seconds rest for 7.5 minutes. You can adjust these times if you need to go to 3 minutes where you're only doing 2 sets. Or lately, I've started doing 2 minutes on, 30 seconds rest for 5 minutes of drills, and just kind of play around with it. That's just a suggestion, whatever works for you. So what I mean by that is assuming you have a holster on. I have a Velcro belt on. I just didn't feel like putting the rig on, and it's easier for me to explain sitting here. So draw to transition, draw to T1, transition to T2. So talking about like par times, sometimes if I'm really working on something specific, like draw to transition, and I'm like the draw is the important part, the transition is just an ancillary movement, then I'll just set the par time for the draw. Um, if the whole thing in totality is like a point of interest, then set the par time for the whole thing. If transitions are what you're worried about timing, I'm going to have transitions that do not have draws in them so that you can isolate the transition. So anyway, draw to trend T1, pretty self-explanatory. So on the beat, draw, find sights, move to the next target. Next time the timer goes off, draw to the second target, move to the first target. You want to be eyes on target, gun comes up to target, eyes go to that target, gun goes to that target. Yeah, make sure you're not following the dot. Make sure you're not like, I don't know, that's really the main thing. Don't follow the dot. Treat it as like Ben Steger would say, it's like a mouse where you don't watch the mouse go across the screen. You look at the tab you want and you click it. Um, and then try to like if it's a uncomfortably fast part time, like accept Charlies and even deltas as long as you're beating the time. It's like the you're if you're watching this, you're probably at the level where you can draw and shoot an alpha at with unlimited time. You can shoot an El Pres drill with unlimited time. Like there's no standard, like that you were just physically capable of doing it. And so that's the kind of thing, is there's nothing wrong with a fast Charlie in practice. Like just learn the speed and you'll learn how to make them alphas, but you won't learn how to make them alphas fast at the same time. So ready, reload, transition, gun on target. On the beep, beep, reload the gun, just like this. Eyes go to the next target. You finish reloading and then you go to that target. Notice it's gun on target, eyes to the magwell. Once the magazine is inserted past the point of no return, the eyes are moving and the gun is then going to where the next target is. Um, I have a goal part time of a 2 second reload. Obviously, you can start cutting these down. You can go as fast as you want. And I implore you to. Like, again, this is one that, like, if you're dropping 50% of your reloads, you're probably pushing speed an adequate amount. Or like if you do a 1 minute 30 seconds straight and you don't drop a single magazine, you're going too slow. Drop the part time down by a quarter of a second, probably. If you're if you're not getting it right once, keep doing it until you get it right. Uh, if you are if you're having an accept like failure is only failure if you quit on this. Right hand only, draw and transition, pretty self-explanatory. Guns in the holster, draw to T1, eyes, gun to T2. You're going to do the same thing backwards, just doing it one hand. You also can, sometimes I'll do this like as a ready reload, switch hands, and that's mostly in the PM. I'm going to have a PM session. And but you can do them interchangeably. If that's something you want to practice more, you can scratch out right hand only, draw and transition, and make it ready, reload, transition. Left hand transfer, transition. So this can be done one of two ways: draw the gun and immediately go left hand, or draw the gun, freestyle to T1, left hand to T2, and then do the reverse. There's value in doing it both ways. So again, The goal on that one is just safety. I mean, at this point, I wouldn't be pushing speed on transferring the gun. I would just be getting comfortable doing it in every way. Finger coming off of the trigger. Notice my right finger is off. Getting my left hand and bringing it on target, then getting on the trigger. So that's that. Bear Solutions 55R3. That's a pretty one you could download off of Bear Solutions. I don't have it. It's right in front of me. Let me grab it. It is this 5 reload 3. Set a par time for yourself. I have 7 seconds right there. I think 9 is what they consider like good in live fire. So start at 7 and kind of work your way down. You just sit there and do it. It's transitions. It's and don't get too hung up on the distance. Like it says 3, 5, or 7 meters. Like whatever. Like you can do it at a yard. It doesn't. Like don't get hung up in the nuance. Then this circle target, and I have to like 4 seconds, 8 seconds, 12 seconds, 16 seconds. Keep repeating the drill until you run out of time. Your goal isn't to beat the time; it's to do it until the time runs out. And I like going 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, reload. 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, reload. You know, at 4 seconds, you're probably 4 seconds. You might be able to get all the way through at once. Like that's a good goal for 4 seconds is to get to the reload. You probably won't your first try, but you'll figure it out. PM, drawn transition, same as before. Ready reload transition, same as before. Ready reload right hand only, which would be this. Reload on target. And then next one be ready reload left hand. So ready, reload, left hand, draw reload transition. I may have skipped that in the first one actually. Draw reload transition. So you draw to target 1, reload, present to target 2, and then a 4 reload 4 or 6 reload 6. You can do this while moving. I like to set a par time for a 4 reload 4, get to where I can beat it, and then introduce another target and make it a 6 reload 6. When I say that, it's like 2 2 reload 2 2 or 2 2 2 reload 2 2 2 like an El Prez. Um, Notice how in none of those I said pull the trigger. Right? The word trigger eluded me. I must have forgotten. I didn't forget. This is visual and mental exercise. We are learning at this level how to acquire sight pictures faster because at this level you can pull the trigger. Right? Anybody can pull the trigger on a gun, but if you get the sight picture faster and you pull the trigger at the same speed you've always done it, it's going to just naturally be faster. Like, and what are you going to gain on trigger pulls? A couple of like hundredths of a second. I don't know. So it's not important. Like I said, I wouldn't get too caught up in the trigger pull thing. You can do it. Like you could like on the draw transition, like there's gonna be times where it would be like if you're watching this video, you're probably not at the point of doing stupid mode yet. Dang, my nose is running. Um, which is just like draw and transition, draw and swing like that, where it's like may get lucky and catch a flash of a sight picture on T1. Um, it's kind of like that would be stupid mode. As there's a few I don't really know who to give credit for that one. I know Joey Sauerland used it, but he credits Steve Anderson. I've heard Steve Anderson credit Jay Beal for it, and so I don't really know. So if you're the person that created stupid mode, it like this level, I wouldn't go there. But you could do it as recklessly as draw, swing. You can do it as intentionally as draw, bang, 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 bang. And that was a terrible example. That was an example of what to not do. What you should actually be doing is bang, 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 bang. That should be your goal. Make your transition the same as your splits. So all of these can be done without pulling the trigger. A lot of times I just imagine gunshot noises. Like when you hear me going bang, 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 that's literally what I'm doing when I'm doing this by myself. Every drill can be done by adding the words while moving. That's a Steve Andersonism. A lot of what I have said here is kind of crumbs from Steve Anderson's table. I really like Steve Anderson, and implore you to watch his videos, even if you find mine helpful. You don't have to try and beat these part times in day one. They're just suggestions. Like I said, uh, the times, like if you need to cut the times down, if you can only do one session a day, understand that your rate of improvement is going to directly correlate to your rate of work. That if you do this in its entirety, morning and afternoon, for a few for probably a month. If you're in B class right now, you're going to be knocking on A class door if you do this every day for a month. Like that's how easy it is. Like it 30 days of hard work makes a big difference. So I'll kind of end the video there. Obviously, the comments are open for questions. I'm going to post a link to this document that I've been reading off of, so that you can follow along. And remember the biggest one here: don't beat yourself up over mistakes. You're going to have to make mistakes to get better. If you go through this and you only say, "Wow, I didn't drop a single reload. I didn't fumble a draw. think I did it all perfect." Then you fail. That's how you fail. Making mistakes is success. Being perfect is failure, because this is not dry fire is not when you show how good you are. It is making yourself better. And the only way to make yourself better is to figure out where the opportunities to improve are and improve upon them by vigorous repetition. Make your own jokes. I'm going to end the video. Have a nice day.